channel. So today I'm going to start teaching you everything about electronics, everything you know about to know how to analyze a circuit involving a transistor, for example, DC analysis, AC analysis, and frequency analysis. And also I'm going to teach you some important and useful tips about how to solve a problem involving transistor. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to introduce you is BJT transistor. BJT transistor is a type of transistor which is very practical these days, and it stands for bipolar junction transistors. You can see the circuit model right here. It has three different parts. First one is base, second one is collector, and third one is emitter. You can see the small arrow right here. The arrow determines the way that the transistor has been built. For example, if the arrow is from base towards emitter, which means it's NPN, but if the arrow is from emitter towards base, it means it's PNP. And this one has three different applications. For example, common emitter. When we say common, we mean at the middle. For example, in common emitter, the input voltage goes into base and output voltage comes from collector. And as you can see, the emitter is at the middle of entrance and exit. Next one is common collector. Same as common emitter, the input voltage goes into base and output voltage comes out of emitter, and collector is at the middle. And last one, common base. In common base, input voltage goes into collector and output voltage comes out of emitter, and base is at the middle. And all of them has its own feature. For example, common emitter has a good current gain and voltage gain. And as you can see, input resistance of common emitter is a very good amount. It's high. So does output resistance. On the other hand, common collector has a very high current gain, but the voltage gain is equal to 1. Not exactly 1, but roughly 1, around 1. And input resistance is very high and output resistance is 0. And let's get into common base. It has very high voltage gain, but the current gain is equal to 1. And same as voltage gain of common collector, when I write 1, I don't mean it's exactly 1. It's approximately 1. And the output resistance is very high and input resistance is 0. And this is a transistor with all the DC elements and AC one. As you can see, we have the voltage source, DC voltage source. We're coming down, we see collector. This is the collector resistance. And we have the emitter with the emitter resistance. We also have base with base resistance. The voltage between collector and emitter, it's VCE, and the current that flows through this path is ICQ, or IC, collector current. In every questions and every problems involving transistor, we need to find these two unknown things: collector current and voltage between collector and emitter. What you can see right here is voltage between base and emitter. This thing is always equal to 6 or 7 tenths. In every problem, we can consider this as a 6 or 7 tenths when the transistor is on, actually. And here we can see the source resistance, which is resistance of the AC voltage source. When we want to apply DC analyzers, we need to get rid of these AC elements. What are AC elements? They are any AC sources. For example, here we have AC voltage source and capacitor and self-inductors. These are AC elements, but DC elements are DC voltage source and resistors. Thanks for watching. See you next time.